Yep, so time starts when we hit new game, which is the bottom option here on the title screen. And the time will end when we grab the crystal when we beat the final boss. So here we go, it begins. So the story begins, we're on our bed, we are starting our holidays. We want to rest, to stay in bed, but nope. We get a call from the high quarters because we work in the police, and they're telling us, the black cats are causing havoc in Rezuka. Go there. At my vacations. Go there. So here we go. We are using a mecha because why not? And we're using a airship to go from islands to islands. Because the specificity of Prairie, the kingdom, is that it consists in big islands, and we travel with airships. So yes, of course, you can fall down if you don't pay attention. And here are the boss of the Black Cats, the three priest sisters. Those are the boss we have to defeat each time. And we see they're causing a lot of damage using bombs. They're attacking Rezuka. It's an harbor which passes warehouses with vine. Yep, it's a vine production island. So here's the first tutorial. So the game teaches you how to use your bubble to stun the kittens, and then grab them and catch them to capture them. Don't worry if you see them disappear, they're just being teleported to the police headquarters through your mecha. So no harm is caused to any animal here, except Waffle when he takes damage, of course.
Yeah.
So here we just grab this kitten first to avoid him throwing more bombs. You have to observe the barrels and grab those moving because there are kittens there. Then you jump and grab because it's faster.
Yeah. You can use your bubble attack to destroy the barrels, but it's slow.
You
It
can
does work.
you can also use your arms if you aim correctly, but it requires more precision, so that's viable in a task. So here we jump and grab at the same time to grab the kittens on the upper ledges. Then we stand here just in front of the spawning point to stun lock the kittens.
Yeah. And they all run portal.
And we're done with the tutorial. So next is the Central Plaza. So first we reassure this person saying yes, the vine is completely secured, no problem. And we reach the Central Plaza. We have a view of the tower leading to the Arya ruins, but there are kittens. So here we stand at this point and we shoot bubbles because we know that at the spawning point all kittens are on the same line. So you either do as Nico did, standing on the starting point using your camera, or you can just go straight using the R1 button. It also works. Now you have the planes. The planes go down with one bomb and two bubbles, so hopefully you don't miss your bubbles and you don't miss your bomb. It can be hard to aim.
Yeah, this is where the game's camera starts to show a few weaknesses. It's like you can't really move the camera yourself. You kind of just have to hope it's looking where you want it to look.
The only way you can control the camera is upward and downward angle with L1 and L2. You can't use the joystick to control the camera because at the time the game was developed, DualShocks weren't a thing, so only the left joystick has compatibility with the D-pad. Otherwise you cannot control the camera, unfortunately. So by capturing all the kittens, we got the charcoal that we gave to the engineer who repaired the elevator, enabling us to access the Arya ruins. And we see our friend here, our little fellow Panta. Panta is another police dog, we will serve as a saving point. Hence why you will not see him later in the run. Sorry, you won't see him. And now we surprise the Priest Sisters, stealing the Rezakar's crystal. So obviously we're going to beat them up.
Yeah, so this is the first boss. It's pretty straightforward. This is where you use the flipping arms. Or you can use balls, but yeah.
Also very important, as you saw, Neko didn't go straight for the boss. He waited until the boss threw a bomb. That's very important because if you kill the boss before he attacks first with a bomb, you have the risk of soft-locking the game, which has happened to a few of us during a rerun. So, but luckily it didn't happen there.
Yeah.
So it's fine. The boss was really quick. Neko has a really optimized strat for this boss, and he's really good at standing below the boss without hitting the mega hitbox, so he doesn't get bumped. So the boss was quick. We repel the black cats, and we get back the red crystal. So obviously, the police boss congratulates us and tells us, "Well, now you're in charge of taking out the black cats." But my vacations, take care of the black cats.
For waffle.
And accessorily, we realized that Alicia, the girl with the high patch, is actually a childhood friend to whom we gave a pendant when we were children. And here is the villain of the game, Fool. So Fool is a counterfeiter working with the black cats. He promised them a dream world for cat people if the black cats could bring him all the crystals. So it's unknown at this point why he wants the crystals, but he wants the crystals, and it's very important that he wants the crystals. Because yes, the crystals are important in case you didn't get it. The crystals.
Yeah, the crystals are basically the MacGuffins of this story.
They have pictures displaying in the middle of the screen, so it must be important, you know. So here we're just going to leave Rezaka as fast as we can, so jumping over this gap. Next destination is Porto. We get back to our quarters. We do that a lot during intermissions because that's how we set the progress flags. So here, to unlock the next areas, we have to talk to 3 NPCs. Then we have 3 zones to do. We can do them in any order. Each runner has his own preference. It doesn't really lose time according to which you do first, because after each mission you respawn on the same island, so it doesn't really matter which one you do first, but you have to do all 3 of them to advance the story. So you have Airlift on the upper right, Arcanis, the royal plane, slightly on the right, and Furzon, the mine island, on the left. So here, Neko prefers to do Airlift first. It has an interesting strat. So Airlift is basically a gathering of really small, tiny islands. You cannot navigate with an airship in them. It's too dangerous. So we're going to talk to the engineer here, and he'll give us a jetpack. Sadly, you won't see a lot of airlift. Sadly, you won't see a lot of airlift because, well, we're going to skip it.
Yeah, it's very short in the 90%. In all photo pieces, which is kind of like the 100% run of this game, we do spend a lot more time here, but in any percent, yeah, we don't do much here.
So prepare yourself, it's going to be really fast. You dive here, then you go straight up, you hit the invisible sailing, and you just use your stamina to go straight to the target island and talk to the NPC, and that's it. That's Halif.
レッドブルさん、ありがとうございます。まあなんか、着地した際になんか遭難者とか踏んじゃった気もするんですが、まあ。
Right, and this is our grandpa, and he's gonna tell us about some important lore.
私はゲーム下手くそなんで、レッドブルさんの力をお借りしたんですが、まあ皆さんならね、レッドブルがなくても多分いけます。
So he automatically accompanies us to Eggstone, which obviously is a stone in the shape of an egg. It is related to the legend of the Iron Giant, which we have a cutscene here. It's an important plot point for really later in the story, like in the end game. So we'll get here in time. We don't return here until the very end of the game. And now we're going to Arcanis. So basically, Arcanis is a former royal plane that is now a touristic plane, and it has been misdirected by the Black Cats for whatever reason. So we're going to board it and hopefully capture all the kittens.
Yeah, nice little cutscene here showing the size of the plane.
Yep, showing us the Machina room is the engine room is badly damaged, and that's why we have to go there. So normally here you just jump using the wind and fall in the hole. It's faster than climbing down. You never climb down the ladders. So here, the balloons are the same as the planes, I'd say. No, they take less damage than the plane. Just 2 damage from the arm gets them down. And then you have to capture all the running kittens, with your biggest enemy being the camera of the game, of course. This camera, this angle, is hard to work with. So here on the left side, you have only one room to clean. Just don't forget the kitten in the wardrobe. But then you also have to clean the corridor with 2 balloons.
Yeah, these balloons go down a lot quicker than the other airborne enemies in the game, so it's good in that way. Okay.
Yeah, so you just heard a sound in the game, a faint sound. It indicates that you've cleaned all the kittens in the room, so it's very important to pay attention to the audio cues when you run this game, to make sure you haven't forgotten anything. So on this side of the plane, you have to clean both rooms. The first is just kittens going round about the table. Second one is just 3 kittens. And we're done. So here we get the toolbox that we will give back to the engineer in the engine room. This is so we can repair the engine and stop the steam pipes from rushing steam, because that's preventing us to access the cockpit right now, and we need to access the cockpit and save the pilot.
When climbing up ladders, you can actually go a little bit faster, I think, by jumping over and over up the ladder. It's a good strat for going up ladders quickly.
And now we're reaching the cockpit. There are 4 running kittens and 2 balloons, so not much more to explain. That's an easy room. There's just a little trick. When you capture the last kitten, you don't send him through your teleporter straight away like Neko did. You try to align with the pilot, jumping above the barrier. So when you teleport the kitten, you can just mash circle to mash through the dialogue, and that's it. We're done with Arcanus. So,
Yeah.
Lemon, aren't we going now to the most interesting segment in the run?
Yes, interesting is a good way to describe it.
So tell me, which throne is it again?
I think it's called Furzen, I think.
Furzen. Yeah, it's time for the fun in the mines.
Yeah, this is probably the hardest, or definitely the hardest out of these first 3 levels.
Yeah, it's also the longest segment in the game.
Yeah.
So before reaching the actual Furzen, we have a cutscene here where we get to see the princess. So Princess Teria, which is absolutely not inspired from Princess Peach, absolutely not. And she doesn't, because she doesn't wander around alone like Princess Peach, absolutely not. And she doesn't get kidnapped by the enemy, absolutely not. So what game is this? It's Tile Concerto, a 3D platform adventure game featuring cat people and dog people. You chase around the Black Cats organization, causing havoc through all the islands. Because you're a policeman, you're a good boy. So welcome to everyone joining now.
Oh, welcome. So this is the princess's butler, I believe, just telling us that the princess has been kidnapped by the Black Cat Gang and is being held for ransom. And the Black Cat Gang wants the crystals, like the crystal we got, and also the crystal from this world, this island.
So we could theoretically directly go for the Black Cats, triggering a cutscene, but they will tell us, give us the red crystal we dropped in Rezica, and you give them the crystal. Then you tell you, then fetch us the green crystal from Furzen, and you have to get it. So instead of doing that, we get the crystal first to save us a cutscene. That's faster to go in the mines first. There are 2 routes you can use. But the most used one in any percent is the intended order. So we go to the mine 1 first, and then we go in the next mines progressively. So here you want to keep a bomb on the ground before spawning the 3 drills. That is so you can lure the drills toward you, and that's a double KO. The most optimal way is a triple KO, but that's so rare. Neko's really lucky to get a double KO today.
Yep, double is still very good.
Yep, it's really good. So again, listen for the audio cue, that's very important, because if you miss a kitten, you won't get the crystal, and you have to go back all the way.
Yeah, and it's really slow to go back in this place because of the minecart sections.
So here, Neko has a strat here. He's just before in the way of the carts. So they throw the bomb in front of them, and he makes the bomb explode with his bubbles. It instantly kills the carts. Alright, and now in any percent we only go to the platforms where there are kittens. So we just go platform 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. Then we cross a bridge and we go through 8 and 9. That's not the case in all photo pieces. In all photo pieces you have to go through all the platforms, which is why it's the longest segment in the game.
ので、敵に投げさせて、あ、なんか使われない。敵に投げさせて、自分からぶつかりに行くことによって、
Yeah, so once again you use the bombs to one-shot the drills.
山なりにね、投げて当たるわけないんですよ。
And you capture the kittens.
Yep.
で、この
All in all, that was a pretty good first part of the mine, like first half. Pretty good.
しばらくちょっと
That's a really decent version. I agree with that. Wow, Neko is the world record holder for any best in Japanese. I'm only second. I have the world record for the PAL version, but no one runs the PAL version because it's so slow. So here, we are going to the last section of the mine, across the bridge. Those are platforms 8 and 9. And in this route, once you reach platform 9, you don't want to take the shortcut to mine 1, because it's a one-way shortcut, so you would have to climb the mines again, and you don't want it.
別に RT 走らなくていいんで。で、なんか例えばね、猫さんのこれ、テールコンチェルト見て、テールコンチェルトちょっと面白そうだから買ってみました
So we kind of let you enjoy the wonderful music from Frozen in the background. I swear this music doesn't drive anyone crazy during runs. I swear.
Yeah, especially in all photo pieces.
Alright, so now that we have the crystal, which appears at the moment you capture the last kitten, it doesn't matter where you are, it's always on the last kitten.
So now Neko is on his way to the boss.
Yeah, so you just...
go ahead. Yeah, and Neko's going to be bringing the 2 crystals to Black Cat, because we got 1 crystal now, so now we're at 2 from the one we got at Resica. Yeah.
テイルコンチェルトの RTA についてちょっとRTA の奏者について話したいんですが、現在ですね、speedruns.com に登録されているのが、
Yeah, so here's an interesting cutscene. So not only we trade the crystals for the princess,
4位がですね、なんと怪文書のおなじみのハルト
but there's kind of a misunderstanding, because Alicia will ask us, is the princess really important to you? And we will write, obviously, yes, she's the princess. And the princess will interpret it her way, thinking we're saying she is important to us. Because you know, it's absolutely not a cliche. The princess falling in love with her savior.
This is not Princess Peach.
Well, you called her robe in pink, and she's Princess Peach, basically. So here we're going to enter the boss room, and I will let Lemin explain it, because he's kind of the one who found the strat for this boss, so go ahead.
Okay, so as soon as this boss starts, the boss is gonna charge right at Neko, and he's gonna want to jump to the left, and depending on like where he's standing from the boss will spin either clockwise or counterclockwise, and the preferable way for it to spin is counterclockwise, so that's good. And now he's gonna look like inside of them while flipping his arms, and it's gonna do just like it's gonna do a ton of damage just like that. And basically, that's gonna be a quick kill, hopefully.
Yep. So there are 2 key things. First, it's a spot in which we do a lot of damage because it's a double hit spot.
Yep.
And as you saw, Stare, the lady in blue, is stun locked during the boss. She won't be able to throw a bomb for whatever reason. So it's the perfect spot. You just have to jump in with them to avoid the drill bombs. It works on both sides actually. It doesn't matter if it's clockwise or counterclockwise. if it's counterclockwise, it's easier because you can kind of clip through the boss to get an easier spot. But well,
Yeah.
you can save it even if you're not on the right side.
Yeah, you can also use the drill bombs. They do a lot of damage. If you can't get the double hit, then using the drill bombs is fine.
Yeah, using the bombs that jump towards you is a good backup strat. So we saved the princess, so she invites us to the castle, and the king himself, King Hound III, congratulates us and tells us, "You are officially in the care of the Black Cat's gang, so I guess it's now a royal mission." And, well, this guy here is Cyan. And Cyan is a real knight. And as a real knight, he does what he does best. Being useless.
He does have a cool mech though, so that makes up for it.
So now we return to Porto to make the story flag progress, and the butler tells us we have located the Black Cats. They are in Grimto, so we're going to Grimto. Are we second and third place in the world? Yes, we are. Well, we are only 3 archetype runners, so yep, you can say we're the top 3. Nico has the world record for the any person Japanese. I'm second.
And I'm third.
And I have the world record for all the others, for all the other categories, like all photopieces Japanese, and both categories on the PAL version, because, well, I'm the only one running the PAL version. There is also Last Sin Committed running the US version, because it's a different version. So obviously, we go here in Grimto to capture the Black Cats, and we find the princess here, because she has to verify she gave us true information, right? So she's going here, by herself, all alone. What can possibly go wrong?
Yeah, what could go wrong? So there's 4 rooms here. Well, 4 rooms with cats in them. And Neko's gonna go to them and get the 4 cats in those 4 rooms. And then they'll get the crystal. Isn't that hard? It's just that monster there, like the biting monster. I don't know what their name is, but
the Gub.
Yeah, the Gub.
They are invincible. You cannot damage them, and they will chase after you if they see you. The problem is, as you can see, it's easy to get bumped off camera because the camera will troll you a lot in these rooms.
Yeah.
Like here, you cannot see 80% of the screen because of the camera angle. So to exit the forest, you just follow the white arrows. So now we are going out and... Oh! Surprisingly, the princess isn't here anymore. What could have possibly gone wrong? So
no one expected that. No one expected that.
Yeah, just like the Spanish Inquisition. Alright, so now we're going to the left part of the forest. The door was locked before. So Cyan is angry because he says it's the duty of our guard to keep the princess safe. But Cyan, we're not a guard, we're policemen. That's your duty. And then Cyan proceeds to get in the swamp, and
次、
he's
ボス
trapped
で
in the
す。また
swamp,
Yeah.
and
次は
he's
ですね、
useless.
猫タンクという戦車のようなボスになる
He
んですけど
tried, okay, he
最速で
tried.
試すためにはうまくパターンを組み合わせないといけ
Honestly,
ません。
with
で、敵のパターンは
how
3つあり
this
まし
boss
て、1
is,
つは
I'd
側
rather
面
be
に立つと
Cyan
誘
than
発
fight
しや
this
すい
boss.
肉球で潰してくる攻撃。
Yeah,
2つ目は敵の側面に立つと誘発しやすい爆
yeah.
弾発射。
Basically, this
で、
boss
3つ
is
目
the
はです
most
ね、
boring
ちょっと
one of the run because
公序良俗に反
you
する恐れがあるので、
cannot
実際に
manipulate
見てい
it.
ただきたいんですけど、
You don't really have
そう
a
ですね、
fast
今回
strat.
戦車が敵ということで、
So the
初日にやったね、
fast
確か
strat,
メタルマック
if
ス
we
の
can
ゼノリ
say
ボ
it
ーン
this
って
way,
いうのがあったんで
is
すよ。
just
これで
standing
見ま
behind
し
the
たね。
boss,
どんな攻撃してく
using
るか
our
皆は
arms,
言えないんで
and
すが、これが
literally
真実ですね。
whooping his butt.
で、腕ぐるも当然
Yep.
モーションが
No,
また上
literally,
っていくんですけど、
we're
当た
going
る
to
パ
whoop
ッテ
his
が一つの
butt.
大きな塊みたいに存在しているので、ダブルヒットができなくなっています。
And
まず
hopefully
パ
bombs
タ
will
ーン
come
誘導し
out.
ます。前で潰していき
Yeah,
ます。
so
潰してきたら次は
first you make sure
止まって
to
爆弾発射
avoid
を
the bow attacks.
してくる
They
ので、
do
ここで
like
レグル
a
を当てます
third
が、シングル
of
しか
your
入らない
health
ので切り
bar,
方が遅いです。
so you want to avoid it.
で、このまま後ろをつ
And
けて
what
い
you
くと、
want is first
ただ
the
しミ
boss
サイ
to
ル
not
は
move
尻から
much
出る
and
ということで、
for the boss to throw
尻から出た
poop
ミサイルを
bombs.
投げ返
They
して
would chase
大
after
ダ
you,
メー
so
ジ
you
を
have to strat. You either
このままですね、うまくいけば、
go out of
ミサ
your
イルをもう
way
一回撃
and
って
grab
くれ
it
るんで
to
すが、
throw it,
あ、撃ってくれま
or
したね。
you
よ
can
かっ
just
た。尻
keep
から出たよ
hitting with your arms
ミサイ
and
ルが
jumping at the last
ダメだ
moment.
あ、やらかしました。すいません。
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
he got
こ
bad
れ
damage
はちょっ
here.
とやらか
He
し
got
ですね。
hit by
一回
a
ちょっと別
small
の攻撃を
bomb
外させて
while grabbing the other bomb.
もう一回出してくれるとありがたいんですが、
And now the boss keeps
正
moving.
面に立って別の攻撃を出させないと他の攻撃出してくれないんです
Yes,
よ。
this is why this boss is
止まっ
annoying.
てくれましたね。ちょっと今ミサイル当てたら終わってたんですけど、実はもうちょっと申し訳ない。
So just a little more. So yeah, you can also use bubbles to finish it up. And that was Grimto.
Alright.
でまあ、ちなみに
So
行動の
pay
誘発
attention
に関
here
してなんで
because
すが、
something
まあ、こうなりやす
incredible
いっていう
will
だけ
happen.
で、実際になんかどういう基準で行動が決まってるかっていうのはなんか自分でもよく分かってないんですよね。でもしかしたら自分の言った方が合ってるかもしれないし、合ってないかもしれないです。で、倒したんですが、また逃げられてしまいますね。で、またこうしておけば、まあ、戦いに負けたとしても、まあでも逃げれるから、決勝席は持って帰れるんで。ということ
So
で、
while
クレ
the
アちゃんが
black
落ち
cats
て
are
しまいま
trying
し
to
た
escape,
でそしてここで
Flair,
ロトの
the
剣を持
younger
った師
sister,
団犬が
unfortunately falls down and we are going to capture her. And by we,
超
of
かっこいい
course,
ポーズを
I
決
mean
めていきました
Cyan is going to capture her.
まずはやっぱ形から入ると。いう
Cyan saved everyone.
ね、将来有望だと思います。次は多分ビッグバンとか打ってくれると思うんで、期待します。
This also begins the longest chain of cutscenes in the game.
ここからですね、
Yep.
このゲームの中で最も長い
Yeah, so here
回飛ばすの
we're
に
finishing up
指にそう
Grimto,
なんです
then we
が
have
頑張ります。
the present cutscene because we're going to
まあ
visit
本当はここから
Flair
シリア
in
ス
the
なシーンが
prison.
続くんですが、
It's a
内容
long
は飛ば
cutscene.
すので、ゲーム買って自分で見てみてください。
That's where your mashing skills are put to the
この間にですね、
test.
またなんか雑談をしようかな
And
と
that's
思うんですけ
also a
ど
good segment during marathons to just
話そうかなと思い
keep
ます。
yourself
このゲームですね、カ
hydrated,
テゴリが2つあって、まあ、エニーパーセント
do
と、
a little of
もう一個が
advertisement,
All
talk
Photo
about the
Pieces
marathon
つまり写真の
itself,
かけら 100%
the upcoming runs and all.
ですね。写真のかけらというのはですね、このゲーム唯一のコレクショ
Yeah,
ン要
there
素
is
で、
a lot of free
フ
time
ル君
here.
の家にある
Yeah.
アルバムに写真が追加されると
4
い
minutes
っ
or
たシ
so.
ステムになってます。
Yeah. So,
で、
as a matter of
全て集めてクリア
fact,
するんですが
I've submitted this game
まあ
to
私このカテゴ
the
リ一応
ESA
走れるんですけれ
Winter
ども、このカテゴリ
2021.
とても難しくてですね。
So,
なぜかというと、
you never
さっきですね
know.
ゲルセンコー
You
ドなんて
might
トロ
see
ッコの
this
ステージ
game
があったと思うん
later
です
this
が、
year.
トロ
Well,
ッ
not
コに
this
乗って
year,
い
but
る最
next
中
year.
に写真のかけらが落ちてるんですね。で、まずトロッコ早いので、あれ撮るの難しいですよね。で、一回撮り逃すと、また往復をしないといけないんですよ。で、まあそうなるとどうなるかっていうと、まあリセットですよね。
So,
で
in
これ
this
が
cutscene,
3箇所あります。
Waffle will
という
ask
わけで、あ
Flair
んまり詰める気がない
about Alicia because she's
でまあこれ
her
を走った
far
きっかけがあって
childhood
ですね
friend.
今
So
度
we're
1月に
asking
です
her
ね
why
AGDQ という
has Alicia turned
海外のスピー
bad
ドラン
like this,
イベントがありまして、
why she
先
hates
ほど
dog
紹介した
people that
世界
much.
2位と3位の方と一
And
緒にレース
Flair
で出ようぜっていう
shares
話がありまして、実は一緒に応募してたんですよね。
quite personal
でその時に海外
information.
勢の2人が、
Like,
なんかオールフォトピースパーセン
she's
トの分も出してたので、
actually
まあ
only
自分も覚
the
えてみるか
adopted
ということで
sister,
覚えてみたんですが、まあ多分あん
and
まもう走る
she
みたい
doesn't know why Alicia deeply hates dog people, but she hates them, and that's why Flare hates them too, because she follows her sister. She also almost spilled the beans about Fool while wanting the crystals, but yeah, she managed to keep that for herself. So now notice that Cyan now doesn't have his sword in his hand, but the sword will still make noise. And now Flare will trick Cyan, simulating stomachache, and that's why Cyan doesn't have his sword, or else he would have stabbed his head. Notice how the mecha is dancing while he's holding his head. Like he's not holding the joysticks. And Cyan does best at what he does best.
He tries.
So Flare escapes and Cyan gets into jail. So we get back to Porto, setting the story flag, and the High Quarters calls us. So they found where the Black Cats wanted to misdirect the Arcanus. So they wanted to direct it to the abandoned factory on the far east, the mech factory. So basically, it's an abandoned factory that the Black Cats use to dismantle and rebuild their robots. So we're going there to just up to that. It's the first really technical part of the run. It's a 3D platforming section that is quite complex. So we begin here with pipe jumping. Alright. Yeah, so to Neko's defense, the dive command is weird. Basically, you have to hold the jump button and a direction of the pad at the same time. So mainly you're going to dive when you don't want to, and you're just going to jump when you want to dive. So that's what happened here. Neko just wanted to jump down and he dived.
Yeah. Diving, at least for me, always happens when I don't want it to, and then when I do want it to, it doesn't come out. So, yeah.
So in this room, we are using a precise pipe jump, because normally you would have to go on the right on the platform, yeah, there, with the red valve, and you would have to turn it down to stop the upper steam valve, the one here, but we don't need to in speedruns, because we can just walk on the pipe and do a precise jump.
Let's try.
Then we have a fast section here, so it's easy to get the first cycle, no trolling, just avoid the incinerator, the steam pipes, and then avoid getting crushed, and don't forget to jump at the end. Easy, right? So here Nichols Ring is getting lucky with the bombs exploding straight in front of the tanks. You don't care about damage boosting here, because you actually don't want to be high health going to the boss. So here's the last section with pipe climbing, and no, don't do this, Nico, don't. So this is the swag pipe strat.
Oh, we did.
I did that on my old photo submissions for ESA, and I softlocked there.
Yeah. And that was the first ever time anyone softlocked there. So
yeah. And then the final trick room, you can skip going back and forth the room using a moving platform by climbing the pipe, jumping here with a precise jump, grabbing the ledge, and going to the door. You don't even need to defeat the tank, you just have to trigger the door, but Nico wasn't really lucky here.
This is the last room for the boss.
So basically we use a precise strat on the boss, and if we fail it, it's just faster to die and retry the strat. That's why we want to be low health before going to the boss. So it's time. So here we go. So what's the strat again for this boss? I hear it's a really hard strat, you know? Not easy at all. It's not free.
A lot of inputs required.
Yeah, so basically you just go forward, straight forward. You do not move left or right, only through the y-axis, and the boulder will be tricked, thinking you didn't move and will strike always on the same place, so it's easy to avoid, while you can actually use your arms on the boss. It's the easiest boss in the game. This strat is free.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Free.
So, well, here we are automatically going to the next destination because we actually find Pool running away from us, and we're going after him. So he's actually going to lead us to his secret bay. It's so secret, it's in plain sight. The mountains are in the shape of cat ears, so you would absolutely not guess it's the Black Cat's secret base. Absolutely not. So here the game asks us if we want to save, obviously not in a speedrun, and we fall for the most obvious trap. It's so obvious because in this video game you can actually see that the two tiles are different from the others because the polygons are different.
Okay. So this is a pretty technical level, and just right here on these pipes, the jumping is pretty precise.
Yeah, you just want to avoid the steam.
Yeah.
Nope. Oh, you got it. You got it. So with a precise shot, you can make your bubble clip through the create, triggering the lever and making the platform move. Then you just walk on it instead of grabbing the grill from below. It's easier.
This room is pretty much free. You just run from one direction to the end, just damage boosting.
Yeah, there is no boss at the end, so you don't care about your health bar. So here you just damage boost. So in the next room, the platforms are already moving during the dialogue, so what we want to do is reset the cycle by exiting and re-entering the room so we can get the first cycles. So as you can see, we have a timer on the upper screen, because the secret base will explode in 5 minutes. We have to hurry up.
Yeah, I mean, when playing casually, this is a very generous timer. Let's see.
Yeah. So we use all the tricks we learned from pipe climbing, jumping on the pipe to climb it faster, and here the first cycle, when we reset the room, enables us to jump on this moving
とい
platform
うことで、まあ全部嘘なんです。
in time.
なぜ今、
So here you want to avoid the
周
boulders.
期をリセットしたか
So the first cycle
一番
is
最速
always
で
at
行
the
く
same
方法は
rhythm,
あのように
so
周期をリセットしてい
you
く
know how to move
なん
fast.
ですが、じゃあ、最初の会話の段階で入ればいいじゃんと思うじゃないですか。実は会話の段階でリフトの周期は進んでるんですよ。
And welcome to the people from Speed Gaming 2 rating. So you're watching Tile Concerto Any Percent by Neko22, also known as Sicket, from RTA In Japan Online 2020. So welcome everyone.
Yeah, welcome.
人力ではとても安定しませんでした。
Hey, that was a very good secret base, honestly.
Yep, it's already over. Like you have 5 minutes to escape, but in speedruns, obviously, it's easy to beat time.
Yeah.
You have more than 3 minutes and a half remaining.
このゲームのオープニング曲の話しましょうか。
Even
But-
casually,
このゲームのオープニング曲なんですが、めっちゃいい曲なんですよ。めっちゃいい曲。
So you exit the secret base as it's exploding, just like in a James Bond movie. And you even have a focus on the villain saying, I'll get you next time.
で、あれ曲名
Isn't
じゃない
that
ですか。
epic?
で、海外勢がですね、RTA で記録を出したときに、これ歌ってたんで、動画の最後でですね。なんか RTA In Japan 2の時ももう黒歴史ですけど、なんかちょっと歌ってたんで。
Alright, so can you tell us what the next destination is? It's a really interesting one.
ちょっと著作権の関係で。
yeah. So our grandpa is going to tell us
流せません。ごめんなさ
to
い。
go
本
to
当に
this
残念です。
ice
本当にごめんなさい、
island.
皆さん。
Coolant.
What? Yeah, coolant.
結構
And
団体物とか
the ice physics make it a very fun level. It's probably the best level in the whole game.
Yeah, slippery
No.
ice, best physics.
残念ですね。
Yeah.
Always.
ぜひ実機を買って。
So
And
basically,
combined with the camera of this game, it's not
で、なん
good.
かおじいちゃん、
But
おじいちゃん、
yeah, basically,
捕まえたのに脱獄してきてますね。
yeah, that's where the
なんか
fun
パシに
begins.
頼まれたんで、ちょっと。
So basically, your grandpa needs some old documents
おかしい
for
ですね。
his
牢屋は完璧だったはずなんですよね。どうやって抜けてきたんでしょうね。
and we have to fetch them
で
for him
クールラント
by
で
asking
が
the
事件
searcher
関係なくなってきてますね、だんだん
living on this island studying
クールラントはですね、
monsters in
まあ
the
当然の
ice.
ことながら見てわかる
So we're
通り
going
床が
here.
滑りまくるので、プレイヤーの腕がとても試されるところです。動きを最小限にしましょう。
So as a matter of
一
fact,
回滑り出すともう制
both
御つけられないので、
old
ただでさえロボですから、
guys don't like
機
each
敏に動けないん
other,
ですね。
and
で、ここはまず最初は
as a coincidence, the old person living here is actually Science grandfather.
相手の軌道の上に立ちます。
What a
そしてそのま
coincidence.
まいい感覚を保ちながらバックで移動するとこのように自分で自分を動かす。
Yeah, so here you can see Nego's strat. The kittens are dropping the bombs on themselves.
というのがとても重要です。うまくいくかなこれ。角度が微妙。多分当たってないですね。
And a second time.
当たってた。
nice.
So technically we could go in the house right now, but the old man would tell us, go capture all the kittens on the island first. So obviously it saves a cutscene to capture all the kittens first. So now that we've captured all the running kittens, we have the balloons.
で、ここなんですが、
So we have 4 balloons, and we are on ice with a non-controllable camera.
できればこの光線の真下にいることによって解説が難しいんですけど、自分で自分をまた当て出すんですよ。
Oh, nice. Yeah, but you can trick the black cats on throwing the bombs on themselves by standing at a very specific spot, but even I don't attempt this strat. That's really swag strat here.
Yeah, he handled this very well, honestly. It's pretty good. Oh,
Nice. So basically, the kittens throw the bombs, and the bomb gets kinda repelled by an invisible hitbox on the mountain, so the bomb gets stuck and explodes on the balloon.
自分の光線の上の方に当たるという感じ。うまく説明できてないと思います。ごめんなさい。で、ここはまず左の4
And of course, we have to capture the kittens inside the mountain as well. So here you have to be careful because you're on ice, you're slippery, and you can get hurt with the spikes on the wall.
Yeah, and the snowballs are very annoying, honestly.
Yeah. Hey, didn't get many snowballs.
Yeah, that was pretty fast.
Suddenly it's Ape Escape.
Honestly, the two games have
Okay,
some similarities.
did you see how far you slipped right there? That's why ice physics are annoying. It's hard to control your mecha on it. Alright, so we got the crystal, which means we captured all the kittens. So now we can actually ask this person for the old documents. So this is Saim's grandfather.
世界観を同じとする続編がありまして、それが2010年に発売されたDS 用ソフトの空とロボ、それから答えというソフトがあるんですね。で、このゲーム私大好きなんですが、知らない方のためにインパクトがありそうな紹介をすると、構想に10年、そして制作に3年かかり、
Yeah, so not really much to say, except that it's faster to exit backward because you're with this cutscene you're straight in front of the door, so you can just walk backward with R2. And now we're going to give the documents to our grandfather, and he will tell us the fruits of his research. We gave him the crystals earlier, and according to him, the crystals are actually tied to the Iron Giant. It's the same matter as him, so it has made him advance on his research, and he's presenting us in the cutscene his theory. So he's searching an ancient civilization, and there were actually two ancient civilizations. They went at war between each other, and the Iron Giant was a weapon in this war. Unfortunately, they lost control of it. It began destroying everything, so the survivors just went inside the Iron Giant and disabled the core. And the crystals were powering up the core. Now, remember, Fool wants the crystals. So if you had 1 plus 1, you get 2. For an unknown reason, Fool wants the crystal to resurrect the Iron Giant, and that's very dangerous, so we have to stop them. So we are directly going to the floating fortress.
Yeah, and in this first room, we're going to be ambushed by a ton of plane cats. Just using the bombs is the best way to kill them.
Yeah, the planes always take the same amount of damage, 1 bomb and 2 bubbles, so the only thing you want is aim carefully with the bombs.
Which is hard to do with the camera.
Oh, the plane just bombed kitten?
Wow. Okay.
Rude. If you aim carefully, you could even do double KOs, like hitting 2 planes at once.
Yeah.
Like if they're in groups, you can get them in groups. Alright, so now you just clean up the room. Alright, so in the next rooms, those planes aren't used, but they still have an hitbox, so you don't want to touch them, and you just trigger the door, like the same as we did in Mech Factory. You can trigger the door without destroying the tanks. That's what we call door skip. Like you just trigger the door, skipping killing the machine.
Okay. Cyan is here to help us. As he's previously shown, he will be a great help, and he'll take care of everything.
Pay attention to the noise.
信じて送り出したシアン君。頑張れ。
Yeah, he's having a really good time.
あれなんか、すごい煙出てますね、これ。これ多分、ビッグバンド最後透かしたんですよ、多分ね。これちょっと残念です。
I underestimated them.
というわけで代わりにで、このパ
Yeah,
ートが
that's his
RTA
actual
多分最も
dialogue.
個人的に難しい。
Yeah.
So this is what we call the hair room. Those are tanks. They take more hits than planes to go down. They take more hits with bubbles, but they're one shot with bombs. But well, it's really hard to grab the bombs while they're throwing it at you. So your only hope would be to shoot a bubble at the right time to make the bomb explode in their face, or just stand in front of them and so it explodes in their face. Or if you're lucky and have them aligned, you stand in front of one and the others will throw bomb on it. But well, it doesn't matter the way you do it. It's hard because the camera will not help you. And there are a lot of vehicles throwing bombs at you. So, especially with the bombs coming from outside your camera angle. So, hey, Neko actually did a really, really good job here.
Yeah, definitely. This room isn't so bad. You just keep climbing to avoid the bombs. Just keep moving.
Yeah. Alright, it's okay.
Oh!
Yeah. Sad. So as we said, you want to avoid the bombs. So you just not run, but you just move in circle. What you want to do on the second platform, on the second rail, is that you want to get off and land on the ledge as soon as you can. So here you just want to avoid the boulders. So yep, you jump because it's faster on the uphill. Oh, it was close.
Oh, good. Yeah, there's a small chance that as soon as you go through that door, a boulder just falls on you and you can't do anything about it. Just
spawn kill.
Yeah, pretty
You
much.
can actually die from it. Literally spawn kill. So Neko is really going in hard because he isn't even adjusting the camera angle. And here the boulder did double damage because he jumped. He jumped below the boulder. It did double damage. That was close.
It's good they did not die there.
Yeah, it's still a deathless Floating Fortress 1, which is really good.
Yeah.
Neko is so good, we don't even have time to commentate each room.
Yeah. Neko is really good at this game. So now the Floating Fortress is going to split apart. Yeah. You just kind of have to escape.
So yeah, right now we're going to lose track of the Floating Fortress. So we need a device to locate it, and obviously the only one who can help us is the engineer from Elif. Yeah, you have to guess that you have to talk to that specific NPC in the entire game.
Great game design.
So the engineer will conveniently install a floating fortress detector, on our airship. It will also upgrade our jetpack, but you're not going to see it because we don't use it at all in any percent. In all photo pieces, that's where we collect all the photo boxes using the enhanced jetpack. It's a really fun segment, but well, we're in any percent. There's no fun in any percent.
Yep.
So in this cutscene, it shows that Alicia still has the pendant we gave her as children, and you realize the pendant is actually the 5th crystal. That's the final crystal. It's already in possession of the black cats, so we have 4 of them, they have the last one. It can be really dangerous. So, what's going to happen in Floating Fortress? We have a boss rush. We'll be facing 2 bosses in a row, and it can be hard. Neko hasn't had any death in the run yet, so he still has 3 extra lives, 3 whistles. The extra lives in this game are whistles. So yeah, it should be safe here.
Yeah. Pretty good live count.
So the first boss, the enemy has a hammer and a magnet. So obviously, the boss is going to attract you and try to smack you. You have multiple ways of doing this boss. Neko doesn't use the missiles and only relies on the arms. That works. Personally, I use my arms on the magnet, then I gonna run away and grab the missile. That's risky to jump below the hammer, because if the hammer hits you while you jump, you take double damage, and that's an instant KO.
Yeah.
But hey,
that yeah, it went really good.
Yeah. Really nice boss. So the arm strat is the fastest strat, easily, if you get double hit spot. You can hear it when Waffle is hitting the boss. The smack sound effect, you can hear if it's a simple attack or a double hit, because the hits will be more frequent. So here there's a convenient full restore item, and we have a cutscene. That's the first time we actually meet Fool, and Waffle will immediately recognize Fool because he's a criminal counterfeiter selling fake relics. And well, Alicia states that she wants the crystal. We're trying to warn her, but you know what the crystals are for? It can be very dangerous. And she just says, "Shut up, I just want to beat you." So when she attacks with her megaphone, she actually yells insults at you. Waffle no baka! Yeah. Those voices are translated in the US version. That makes it even funnier.
Oh. Yeah, so in this boss, it's kind of like the first one. Grabbing the missiles and throwing them back does quite a bit of damage.
Yeah. Well, it's not as easy to get double hit spot with the arms, because there's no magnet, so it's not easy. What else can we say? Well, you want to dodge the megaphone because it stuns you, and you do not want that. You still want to avoid the hammer, and yeah, if you feel like you're going to get hit by the hammer, do not jump. Instead, run straight to the inside the boss. You will get hit, and you will get invincible frames, invisibility frames, and you will dodge the hammer. So yeah, I haven't even finished my sentence because of the boss.
He's too good. He's too good.
Yeah, that's a really good run here.
Yeah, that was a great floating fortress too. That was just really good. In fact, I think overall this run is on really good pace.
Yeah. So here, the Black Cats all escape and the floating fortress gets down. I think Neko is actually PB what we call pace.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Right, let's not commentate the curse.
I mean, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's very fast either way. It's definitely fast.
Yeah, that's awesome for a marathon.
So now the Black Cat gang is just scattered. And Waffle is looking for Flare and Stare, and also Alicia, but we're only going to find Flare and Stare right now.
Yep, so the high quarters tell us they've split up, and we have to retrieve them. So Flare is at Resaka, and Stare is here at Grimto. You can fetch them in the order you want. Personally, I prefer to fetch Flare first because her dialogue is faster. But, well, it's a matter of choice here. I know Harutomo always goes for Stare first because he likes Stare. So yeah, you have a little bit of dialogue here because she asked us if we can actually heal Alicia's wound. You know, hate toward dog people is actually because she's been bullied while being a child, so yeah. Oh, I know why he gets. I got Stare only to showcase the only time where you can see this specific sprite where Stare is blushing. You can see that only 2 times during the game. Once is from this cutscene, and the second time is in the post-game. Yeah, post-endgame. That's it. Just for the blush. Alright, so now we're going to get Flare. She's in the only area we couldn't visit before, which is the clock tower.
Right. I'm not trying to jinx it, but this run really does look kind of like PB, maybe. Like,
He's actually slightly behind Baby, but that's perfectly doable.
yeah, it's still like for a marathon run. This is very, very good. It's very.
All right, so now we have both Flare and Stare at our house. Alicia will come by herself, and notice how it's night outside. That's really important. And now look at the window. Yeah.
Yeah.
The developers didn't really take that into account when they designed Waffle's house. They didn't make a second version with a nighttime on the window.
But in the next cutscene, well, it's going to show a dark version of the garage, where Waffle keeps his mech.
Yeah,
So
that's weird.
Yeah, it's weird how they made a dark version for that, but not for his room.
Yeah, so basically Alicia is tired. We invite her to sleep, and well, when we wake up, we don't have the crystals anymore. So we pulled off a cyan. And obviously Alicia is running away with all the crystals. And guess where she's going? To the very important place I mentioned earlier, where our grandfather told us the legend of the Iron Giant, the Eggstone, with the epic music. So Alicia is saying, quick, Waffle's coming, we have to run away. And Fools is just saying, I have the ultimate weapon, why should I run away? And in this cutscene, that's where he resurrects the Iron Giant. And proceeds to get crushed by the Iron Giant. So here we just talk to everyone and we progress in the story. So let me tell us what happens when you tried to exit the room.
Well, you can't. You just can't.
Yeah, we tried. There's an invisible wolf.
Yeah. It'd be kind of funny if you could just leave and just ignore what's going on, but it's not an option.
So Alicia is going to fight the Iron Giant and gets eaten by the Iron Giant. So we decide to follow her and save her. So in the cutscene that we skipped, Cyan was actually helpful because he distracted the Iron Giant while we got inside. But too bad, we didn't get to see it. So inside the Iron Giant, we are affected by two effects. First, the relic in the mecha reacts to the Iron Giant and we're shooting energy balls. Second, we're swimming inside a kind of vital liquid, so there's an anti-gravity applying to us. So we have to use those teleporters and those moving platforms to progress. And, well, we want to kill those creatures because they can bump you, and if they bump you in air, you can fall all the way down.
Yeah, and that's a big time loss if it happens.
Yep. So here, normally you just walk on the platform, but yeah, not the by time. And we're already at the end. That's the final stairs.
This is looking, because the world record is 1450. 1 hour 1450.
Yep. And Bob, we're done with the Iron Giant. So now here's the final boss. So I repeat, the time is not when you beat the final boss. It just triggers an event in which you have to grab a crystal to deactivate the Iron Giant. That's where time will be counted. But we have to fight the final boss here.
Yep.
So the final boss has 3 attacks. First is a laser attack, which does a lot of damage, so you just want to avoid it, especially if it does a double laser. The second one, the boss stays stationary and sends explosive to you. And third attack is a
こ
charge
れをひ
attack,
たすら繰り返す。
so you just want to avoid it.
レーザーはランダムで2回来ることがあります。
Yeah. You can do a slightly risky strat where you just keep flicking your arms and while shooting the lasers and just
まあ適当にもうこの辺は当たってしまっても構いません。
Yeah, the boss does.
basically it does a lot of damage overall.
Yeah, if you do it during the laser phase, if you're close to the boss will turn around while doing the laser.
左側にビームを打って
That's funny to see.
それで相手を騙してやる。
So yeah, the what we call finishes now.
でそろそろ気をつけないといけ
But
ない
hey,
のは
it's not far from it.
これ
That's
が終わった後ですね
that's incredible for
ワッフル君が倒
marathon.
れてるアリシアの前まで移動するんです
Crazy
が
run.
その移動時間をスキップ
Ironically, that might even be faster than my PB.
最後倒すとどめを刺す際にはなるべく
Alright, so now we are near the end of the final boss, so we want to be as close to Alicia as we
い
can,
けましたね。
because when you kill the boss, Waffle is going to walk automatically there. So the closer we are, the less time we lose.
やったか。はい。今移動したんですけども。
And now the boss is also going to revive themselves. But we don't have to fight them, we just have to grab the crystal, and that's when the time ends, is when the crystal is grabbed.
Yep.
あれ倒したのに
Well,
あれなんか出てきま
if
したね。
the boss will resurrect, so you can actually try to fight it a second time,
あれ
and
な
the
んかまた
third
出て
time,
きました
the
ね。
boss will
こ
keep
れ何回倒しても復活
resurrecting,
してく
so
る
you can,
じゃあ
in
どうすればいい
theory,
かというと動
keep
力源の
fighting
敵
it.
小石を取ってしまえばもうすぐタイマーストップです。取ってしまえば OK です。タイマーストップです。
But we're not here to do that in any percent, and that's time. Good job, Nico. That's
Yeah.
1 hour 16 minutes and 5 seconds. That's
決勝席が
incredible. That's a really good time for this category. It's really high level time.
脱出できますと。
Yep. GG to Neko. That was a very fast run,
ストーリー適当とか言った方がいい
especially for a marathon run.
Yep.
That was very good.
ボイス聞かせられなかったんですけど、これやっと聞い
Yeah,
た。
No,
that's what happens when you get all the strats accordingly to the plan.
yeah.
So now we can enjoy
ね
the
ブー
final
もやっと見せられ
cutscene.
ますね
The Iron Giant dismantles.
最後にちょっとちょっとだけ流しましょうか。あまり長くなくて。
We have a happy
まあ
ending
こういう鉄巨人がね、世界を滅亡す
and
ることして
everything.
あもうすぐ
We
ね
have a
絶対
sunset
絶命都市で
here.
等であった大井ポイント
No,
なんで
sunrise,
大井
sorry.
軍がね、不足している人はぜひ。
Fool isn't dead, but he's
から大井
on a wooden plank, and we're not going to save him. Princess
戦闘
Jaya is
力
only
53
coming
万
for
あるような
us.
大井を切るのはここだけですよ。
Alright, so you saw how we had to climb all the way up using the teleporters? Well, guess what? We actually had the jetpack.
Oh, that would have been useful.
Kinda. So we meet everyone outside. It's a happy ending. And the next scene is actually an echo of the intro cutscene,
最後のシーンは意味がわからない
because
と
we're
思うので
meeting Alicia, and we will be giving us
真
the
相は
pendant
目で確かめてくれ
again. And she's going to have the exact same dialogue. She's a bit of a tsundere, like, here, I'll be giving you this pendant as a present. I don't want it. But if you really don't want it anymore, I can just take it. And Waffle says, it's not that I don't want it anymore, I want to give it to you. And that's our happy ending.
That's Tail can sew any
とてもいい
percent.
ストーリーなんですよ。
Yep.
はい、というわけで、感想した感想ですが、個人的にとても良かったと思います。まあ、ただガバッと
So now you have the credits,
見せたい
that's
技を
the end of the
全て
game.
見せれたというのがとても
So
嬉しいです。
you can actually make an endgame save and load the bonus game save to have additional dialogue. You can go out of bottle, but you can have additional dialogues. You can view your albums,
で
watch the videos again,
2つ
etc.
述べたいと思います。
You have to do it in an all photo run to show the completed album. But that's it. The game has been beaten in 1 hour and 16 minutes.
Very good time.
So shout out to whole community. Nico is a world record holder. He's a really skilled player. You saw it in action. That's why he has the world record. He helped a lot with some strats, like some bosses. He optimized some bosses using the arms. Then you have me, who wrote all the guides and routed some of the tasks strats in the RTA run. Like the Mech Factory boss, that was from the task. The airlift skip, that was from the task. And obviously you have Lemon, who helped me reroute some bosses. Like, that's thanks to Lemon we have a good pheasant boss. It was a horrible RNG boss before that, so thanks Lemon.
Okay.
So yeah, we have a wonderful community. We have Arutomo. Arutomo was the first runner of the game, and he's the one who motivated me to actually run the game actively. There's also Last Scene Committed, the one who runs the American version, and thanks to our wonderful community. If you go on the speedrun.com page, we have a link to our Discord if you're interested in joining the speedrun. So here we go. That's the end of Title Concerto. We will see ourselves out. Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.
And we hope you enjoyed it. Since we have time, I think he's going to demonstrate the Rizika boss soft lock.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, okay. So since we have time to kill, we're going to do a glitch exhibit. So remember when I explained the first boss? We have to let the boss throw a bomb. Because if we kill the boss before he does the first attack, we break the boss's script, and the boss will try to make his first attack and his death animation at the same time. And the game won't really be able to do that. So hopefully Neko pulls that off easily. In order to do that, you have to not get hit a single time, because if you get hit, you get bumped, and if you do, the boss has time to prepare a bomb. So here it should be good. The boss didn't do any attack.
Yeah.
So yeah, the glitch is easier to do on PAL because the game is slower, and that's it. As you can see, the game is stuck. The music still plays. Only the graphics have crashed. The music will still play, and it will play specific tracks in a specific order, because the game will try to rate specific data. So this glitch was found by me during a rerun. So yeah, that's a perfect way to say goodbye, and we hope you enjoyed it. So goodbye everyone, and
thanks for watching.
Thanks to Speed Gaming for inviting us and allowing us to commentate this wonderful game, and good luck to the next runners.
Good luck.